Well, hello again, everybody. So today we have another treat in store. We'll be going to that mountain you can see behind me there, Montserrat, which is very much the spiritual heart of Catalonia and is absolutely not to be missed if you come to this part of the country. And we'll be riding up to the monastery there, with absolutely spectacular. And it was a lovely day as well. So a treat all round. So let's have a look at our route. So we will be starting in San Sadurni d'Anoia, where we've been in previous videos. It's a real Carver town. And taking this road here, this is a road I used to ride quite a lot when I lived in Barcelona. It's a really nice rolling road with some nice views of Montserrat. We'll go through the town of Gelida, have a little look round there. It's quite nice. And then down to the river here. So we'll be coming down to the river Llobregat, which is the river that flows into the sea down here near Barcelona Airport. So you get an idea of where we are in relation to Barcelona. And Montserrat really stands out. You can actually see it from Barcelona when you're at the airport down that way. Okay, and bit of a climb here. Fairly long, but not too steep, and we'll be going up to the town of Vacarisses, which is also worth a look, and coming round to Montserrat from this direction. I personally think this is the best side to climb. You get the best views. A lot of riders out on this day as well. It's very popular with cyclists, so we'll see a lot of people going up. Now the climb is maybe let's say about 8.5 kilometers. Average gradient, you're looking around 6.5. So fairly strenuous, but absolutely worth it when you get to the monastery. It's spectacular, as we'll see later. And then after that, back the way we came, along the main road here. It's really the only bit of main road we need to take. And then a bit more climbing coming around this side, the front end of Montserrat. Some pretty stiff ramps, and you will hear me puffing and panting up some of those. And we'll be visiting the town here of Colbato, also worth a look. And then coming back round this way, a little bit of gravel here, just to get back in. It's a bit of a shortcut of mine back into Anoia. And then heading down south to finish where we started in San Sadurni d'Anoia. And you've got the station here, you can take the train. Train goes to Barcelona and then back to the coast and the Costa da Rauda the other way. So all in all, it is a fantastic ride, and I hope you enjoy it. So now, without any further ado, let's come to the video. So a nice early start this morning at the station of San Sadurni d'Anoia, and there goes my train off to Barcelona. And here is the Freixenet winery, big cava producer that's based in the town. And yeah, lovely morning here as we come onto this road down towards Gelida. We're sort of at the foot of the Ordal Hills here. And coming up here we get our first sight of Montserrat in the distance. And there she is. So we're going towards from the west, and we'll be coming around the other side. Lots of riders out today. There's a big group there. For some reason, everybody was going the other way down this road this morning. I don't know if there was some sort of special event on. Maybe it was free ice cream for cyclists somewhere, but I missed out, I guess. So coming into Gelida now, so let's have a little bit of a look around. So we've got the Church of San Pere. This is a 19th century neoclassical church here, which is on the site, as they often are, of an earlier church. And here we've got a funicular station. So this was built to run the workers down to the paper mills that used to run here. It was opened in 1924. And it was actually the remains of a Roman settlement as well in Gelida, and there was a castle there in the 9th and 10th centuries. So Montserrat is a constant presence. It really stands out on the landscape from all directions, and it's almost like the heart of Catalonia. So coming down into Martorell here, this is a fairly large town here on the River Llobregat, and sort of motorway runs over the top of it, as you can see. Okay, so we're going to cross the river in a moment and have a look at the Pont de Diable, which has its origins in Roman times from about 10 AD and was the river crossing that was part of the Via Augusta. Destroyed by the river and then rebuilt in the 12th century, restored in the 18th century, destroyed again towards the end of the Civil War by the Republicans trying to stop the nationalist advance, and they rebuilt again in the 60s based on the 13th century Gothic structure. I did miss my turn back there, which you'll see on the track, but I've got to do that at least once every ride, otherwise I wouldn't be the action mammal. Okay, so we're in Olesa de Montserrat, and this is where we start climbing. Okay, so I had this group come past me. I mean, these guys are pros, not exactly sure which level, but they were just cruising here and chatting. That's the only reason I was able to keep up with them. Did get a bit dazzled by the Astana kit there, but then I realised it's not this year's kit. But I would say these guys are pro riders at some level, or certainly bike racers, and followed them for a bit. And the guy at the back on the left there, we'll see a little bit later as we're climbing up to Montserrat. So coming under the viaduct here that carries the line of the train we got off at the start of this ride, actually goes into Barcelona and takes kind of a long-winded route around and then heads up to Manresa. Okay, I was having to start to work it a bit here because every time the road kicked up, again, these guys are just chilling, but I had to work it a little bit to stay with them. So just coming into Vacarisses now, and I won't be with these guys much longer, as you'll see. Okay, right. I think that could be game over. And indeed it was.
I'll let them go.
Right. We have the castle here that has its origins in the 18th century, but is on the site of a much earlier castle from the 10th century, and the Iglesia de San Pere San Feliu here, which is an 18th century neoclassical church, and there's a little shop down here as well if you need to get supplies.
slight variation today. That's egg and chorizo.
Got to feed the beast. So let's get on our way. And you can see we've come around to the other side of Montserrat now, and we're approaching it from the west. A nice scenic descent here through these lovely green meadows. A little touch of the main road here, but we're only on this for a few hundred metres before we get off and then follow the river around to Monastery of Montserrat. So going along the river Llobregat again here, which is the river I mentioned earlier. Flows out of the Pyrenees near La Molina all the way down to Barcelona near the airport, which I mentioned in the intro. And under the railway again as we come into Monastery de Montserrat. So this is a town just at the foot of the mountain, and it's dissected by the main road. And we're going to cross over the river again, and then we need to just get onto the main road again just a little before we start the climb. Could be a bit tricky getting across here, sort of wait for a break in the traffic, because this is a very busy road, but we made it. And the climb begins. As I said, not an easy climb here. It's fairly steep and relatively long. But I think this is one of my favourite climbs, really, in Catalonia. It's just got some fantastic views and a very happy ending when we get to the monastery. And over to the right there, we can see the rack railway that goes up to the monastery. So you can sort of get a combined ticket from train and that little mountain railway. And then there's a funicular right up to the top. So just going under the bridge for it there. And views, views, views. Try and hit this one on a relatively clear day, because it is a pleasure, apart from the puffing and panting and the effort of getting up it. And this giant boulder here always makes me a bit nervous, but I suppose you'd be unlucky if you just happened to be right here when it decided to roll over. And this is about where I started to get passed by people. As I said, very popular with cyclists this climb, and there certainly were a lot out this day. Okay, and just in front of us now, there's that guy from the group earlier, and he's definitely not hanging around, as you can see. Kind of had the feeling he'd been up this 3 times already by the time I hit it. Getting towards the top, the gradient really starts to bite, gets up to 10-11% in places. And you always get this queue of traffic trying to get into the car park there on the weekend, so manoeuvre your way around that and smile and wave at the drivers. Now this is where I went for it, because I completely misjudged the distance, because I don't always go all the way into the monastery, so I forgot it's actually another couple of kilometres from here. So I soon collapsed, as you can see, and started to get overtaken again. And we made it. So here we go. This is the jewel in the crown, you might say. So we've got the monastery here, which was founded in 1025 and rebuilt quite recently, the 19th and 20th century, and houses a community of about 70 monks. Very popular spot for hiking as well. The youth of Catalonia like to do an overnight hike to get up here for the sunrise. You've got the basilica here, which is dates from the 16th century and was reconstructed in 1811 after its destruction in the Peninsular War. Again, it's obviously been rebuilt many times over the years, including in the 20th century. A young Antoni Gaudí assisted in some of the construction in the chapel there. So yeah, as you can see, it's a very, very spectacular. So you can go into the chapel and see the statue of the Virgin of Montserrat, who is the patron of Catalonia, and lots of Catalan women are named Montserrat or Montse. And in 1940, Heinrich Himmler visited. I think he was looking for the Holy Grail, which didn't turn up, so they sent him to the souvenir shop instead. And during the dictatorship, it did become a bit of a sanctuary, and also one place where they were still able to produce literature in Catalan, so very much a sanctuary in that respect as well. And you can fill up your bidons here with a bit of holy water. And let's be on our way. And we can have a quick look here at the other monastery of San Benet, just down the hill. Doesn't really get quite so much love. And there is San Benet, very happy chappy by the looks of it. And then we're descending back down the same road here. So we do need to take a bit of the main road here, which I'll generally try to avoid. I mean, as you can see, these roads are busy and fast, but one advantage is they do generally have that little bit of space off to the right side. And we turn off here and hit our next climb. And some nice views there over the Val de Montserrat. And some fairly strenuous climbing to get up to the village of Corbato, which we're just coming into now. And there's quite a nice church here. A little remains, there's sort of ruins of a castle as well. But we can see the Iglesia de San Corneli there, which dates from the 11th century, but was reconstructed more recently in the 18th. And there's a nice cafe here and a fountain, so you can fill up your bidons, which does have water, which is nice, because sometimes when they're outside cafes, they're mysteriously turned off. So we've got a tunnel under the motorway here. It is a bit tricky to find places to cross the motorway on this side, but this is your kiddie. And then this part is where we get the stiffest ramps of the day. We're getting up to about 16% here. You can probably hear some of the noises I'm making there. And we come onto this road here, which sort of looks like it might be a private road, but the gate was open, so there you go. And here's our bit of gravel. Again, not very long, not more than a kilometre, but I don't know if this is some kind of blood channel, so after heavy rain, might not be quite so doable. But we're off that now, and back onto asphalt. And some more steep ramps here, but this is pretty much it at this point for the strenuous stuff. And then we're back up onto the plateau here on the main roads. Yeah, this stretch of road can be a bit troublesome. It just seems to attract a lot of idiot drivers, so be careful. And we're running along the ferrocarril, it's the narrow gauge railway. A bit of tractor action here. I did try and keep a little bit of distance here because I just imagine if he slammed his brakes on, probably get quite mangled going into the back of that. And we'll just have a little look into this little wine hamlet here, sort of a wine estate. Stopped here for my last sandwich, and this is where the good stuff comes from. And here we are back to where we started at the railway station. So hope you enjoyed that, and see you out on the road. Bye bye.